in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting, it's the third date, fourth date, a week later, he hasn't gone in for the kiss, he doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they are like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships.
Do you guys ever approach guys at all?
That's how I got my boyfriend.
What did you say?
Nothing. I just added him on Snapchat. If I did, yeah, though it's easy. I feel like 80% of the time if you were to approach a guy, you would be more likely to have like a better turnout than if a guy was approaching a girl, which is very unfortunate, but I think that women need to do it more often.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
Yes, you are. Welcome to the Sheep Shear podcast, ladies and gentlemen, where here we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed. Speaking of people, can you imagine looking back at that woman's video talking about how, oh yeah, like only the conservative men are traditionally masculine? Duh. Oh, you mean to tell me the guys with purple hair and who don't hit the gym and live a very testosterone hostile lifestyle, they're not out there approaching you? Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. So today I got to break some news for those of you who haven't been paying attention. But for those of you who are paying attention to society and how things are going, this is just a catch-up stream for y'all. The cold approach is dead. It's gone. It's history. That stuff worked back in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. Nope. It ain't working today. And it's not working. Look, I know if you go on YouTube, you go on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you'll see these dudes that get all these girls on the internet, and they're like, yeah, man, I run game. Yeah, man, my game on point, son. Hey, yo, Sean, my game on point, son. If you learn to talk like me, son, and you go out there and you talk like me, son, then you want to pull girls like me, son. No. You know why I don't agree with it? Oh, don't worry, we'll get into that. But my friends, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on cold approach, running game, talking to girls and cold approaching them? Because I personally think it's a horrible idea, and I will go into and explain in just a moment. But if you disagree, you're more than welcome to let your voice be heard. You can do it in the comment section of the video you're watching, if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble. If you're on audio, you can head on over to my Twitter page at Sheep Get Sheared. Same name as the channel you're listening to. And we could have a discussion, because I'm going to post this question as soon as I'm done putting up this video and the audio. But my friends, look, there was a time when I firmly believed in the cold approach. I firmly believed that if I just mustered up the courage and I walked over to her and I lay my game down and I said, yo, girl, like, I think you're pretty and I think that you make a good power couple with me, and so let me take you out to get a slice of pizza or grab some coffee or whatever. And I used to work. But that don't work no more. You want to know why it doesn't work? Because if your goofy ass shows up on the internet looking creepy because you're not attractive, you don't look like Chris Hemsworth, you don't look like Chris Bumstead, you don't look like Chris Hemsworth, you don't look like these handsome dudes, they can go pull out their phone and they're going to record you. Ooh, look at this creepy guy who tried to approach me. You never know what's going to happen today. So do not take the bait of pretending like, oh no, if I go up and I approach this really beautiful woman, she's going to go out with me. Do you think that successful rich men who have the money, the power, the status, do you honestly think that these dudes go out of their just randomly cold approach girls? No, they don't. The closest thing they get to a cold approach is they pull up with their Lamborghini sounding like Thor summoning lightning from Asgard. They show up with, and then they pull out their Lambo while they're just revving their engine sounding like Thor summoning thunder. And then they pull out looking good, smelling good. They got all the bling bling ka-ching. And then they pull up and they're like, yo girl, let's go over to my McMansion with my Scrooge McDuck vault full of gold coins. And we gonna go over there and we gonna sit martinis next to my pool with the infinity spa on the end of it. That's what they gonna do. That's the closest they get to running game. But if you're a goofy guy and you're out here in the club, you're at the bar, you're at school, you're at the gym, has no one else seen these gym videos where these girls are recording these dudes who are barely even looking at them, or they look at them for like 0.5 seconds and they're like, ooh, look at this creepy guy, he tried to stare at my booty that I'm totally not advertising in any way, but I totally am. We need to stop with this crap. We need to stop. It's not acceptable. All it's doing is inflating women's egos even farther when they're already sky high to begin with. And number two, you risk your social and professional slot by cold approaching these women because you could end up, your goofy butt could end up on the internet. And then next thing you know, you're getting a call from Susan from HR and she's saying, yes, hello? Yes, I saw this disturbing video on TikTok, on Instagram, or on YouTube about how you were harassing women, and we don't apply that, so I think it's best you clean out your desk, or we have a meeting tomorrow morning, and we are going to discuss this. Click, and then she go hang up. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a call from the woman in HR telling how she saw some video, or you got reported to HR about how you were harassing women. When you did nothing harassing, you were literally just going up and talking to her. But if you're not attractive, that's harassment today. For you older gentlemen in the audience who think that I'm lying, or I just can't get girls, or, hey yo, Sean, if you could like run game like me, Sean, then you wouldn't be having these thoughts there, Sean. Yeah, Go back to the 80s. Go back to the 90s. Go ahead. Go and try this goofy. Go ahead. Keep trying to tell young guys to run like me to run game so they can end up with a potential charge or get cast aside in society. Get branded as a creep. Go ahead. Keep trying to do that. Your goofy stuff worked in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. It's dead. Gone, buried, get rid of it. It's not working anymore. You want to know what the new cold approach is? Having cold hard cash. That's the new cold approach. Cold hard cash. And showing up and being successful. And all you got to do is show up. You don't have to run game. You don't have to flex. You literally just show up. And she automatically knows you're not faking at being anything. You are the thing. You don't have to fake being the man. You don't have to. Why run a mouthpiece when you could ride up in a Maserati? Why? Why would you do something like that? Answer, because it's harder to get the Maserati than it is to run game and pretend to be somebody that you're not. It's easier. It's easier to fake it than it is to make it. My friends, I'm challenging you to make it today. Stop faking being some, oh, I'm alpha, bro. Yeah, man, I'm gonna flex and I'm gonna be alpha, and she gonna see that I'm a real man, and she gonna give me all the respect that I deserve when you've done nothing. You've produced nothing. All you're doing is lying to yourself. No, I'm sick of it. And you should be sick of it. I don't want you to be out here looking goofy. I don't want you to end up on the internet with some, oh, look at this creepy gym guy who looked at me for half a second. No, I don't want you to do that. Please. I don't want you to end up being that guy. I want you to be the guy who stacks his bread, who hits the gym, who focuses on himself and what he desires out of life, creates that, and then the women chase you. The second clip I played today was about a woman going and approaching a dude and giving him her Snapchat. My friends, girls are already choosing dudes. It's called choosing signals. The women choose the men they want. And then from the list of choosing signals, the man can make his choice if he even has one. That's how the dating marketplace works. If you think that if a woman's giving you no choosing signals, that you're going to walk your goofy butt up there and try to spit some game, you're going to end up on the internet on some compilation of creepy guys, and then it's a wrap for you. You're going to be on the internet forever. Or you're just going to have your confidence destroyed. Look, my friends, I understand the appeal. And yes, it can still work in instances. That does not mean it's alive and well. That means it is on life support if it's not already dead and deceased. Stop focusing on a dying, if not already dead, art style, if you even want to dignify it with that kind of distinguishment. Stop pretending to be alpha and running game and start being actually authoritative and run your own life. That's what you should do. Stop with these goofy terms. Stop with all the garbage and start actually doing something for yourself. That's what I recommend. If you cannot go out there right now and if a woman came up to you and you couldn't reject her and not feel like you missed out on something, you need to get more life experience and you need to really focus on yourself. And look, I know what y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say, yo, Austin, your game is probably whack. That's why you're making this video. Austin, you probably pull no hose. Austin, you probably have never even been with a girl or seen a pair of saggy waggies before. You probably never done any of that. Well, if you think that, I'm just gonna laugh. I don't like to play these infantile games. Let me just tell you that my body count's probably higher than your age, and I'll leave it at that. Where do you think I learned all this from? You think I watched someone else's video and got this information? No. I learned it from personal experience, and then it was reinforced by watching other people experience it. That's why I believe what I'm telling to you. I used to be that goofy cold approach guy when I was like 18, 17. That's what I used to do. Because I thought that was the only way to get chicks. If you're a young guy, you're competing with dudes that are 10, 20, 30 years older than you, who have way more money than you, way more established than you, and have way more to offer than you do. If all you can offer a woman is the salami in your hand, you're dangling, ditch dating, and start getting some bread. Start getting some accomplishment in your life. If you have to brag about how many hoes you get, your life sucks. Because hoes ain't nothing to brag about because, they hoes. Like Juicy J said, they're for everybody. So why would you brag about it? I don't brag about getting women. I brag about getting bread. I brag about getting stuff that I actually accomplished. And as you should as well. Do not waste your time cold approaching girls who don't want to be cold approached. They will approach you if they like you. You put yourself at risk for very little reward, if at any at all. I want you to protect yourself. Not to potentially get some punani. It's not worth it. My friends, I'll leave it at that. If you have any comments you want to leave, feel free to leave them in either on Twitter or on the comment section of this video. I am sure there will be people who disagree with me, and they are welcome to do so. But I will not engage with an infantile argument of, I don't get no hoes, I probably don't get no bitches, I probably don't get any. No, stop it. Stop it. I guarantee you, if you're leaving that comment, I have a much higher body count than you. Probably 4 or 5x what you have. I don't want to hear it. Because the dudes who have had the experience I have, they know what I'm talking about. Anyways, my friends, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. We're out of here. Peace. Enjoy your evening.